Welcome to Insights into Insurance from the A-Team at Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's another Saturday morning. That means it's time for Americana Insurance Insight into Insurance here on 1450 KATE. Tom Sorensen along with me, and also Abby Leach. We'll get to Abby in just a minute, but Tom, you've got a couple things coming up here quite soon that'll be here before you know it.
Yes. So on December 6th and 7th, we're going to have Americana Insurance annual Christmas open house. Well, you're probably wondering, well, why are you bringing that up now? That's like 3 weeks out. Well, our next three programs are going to be concerning the three special events that we have in coordination with our open house, and those will be our Silver Bells 55 Alive Driver Improvement Program. This will be a 4-hour refresher driver improvement program for individuals 55 plus. This event is open to all of our customers as well as non-customers. That's going to be December 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. $22 is the cost, but lunch will be on us at Americana Insurance. Then the next thing we're going to have, it's a Wonderful Life Lookover. As you can tell, my names of the programs are based on Christmas.
The holidays are here before you know it.
The holidays are here. So that would be a meet with Jolene Honkamp, and we've had her on as a guest many, many times to review your current life insurance policies. Or also, too, you can have a free needs analysis done by her. So what's that? Well, you sit down with her and figure out how much life insurance you need. So that's on December 6th and 7th, and that's open to everyone, not even non-customers. Then the last item that we're going to have, and we're going to have Abby talk more about this, is Santa's Winter Wonderland Will Writing Workshop. We've teamed up with Abby Leach of the Leach Law Office to offer you a special one-time deal on getting a will made. That will be December 6th from 9 till 5. And the cost is $125 per person.
And these are some great programs, and I want to stress again to our listeners that we are talking with Americana Insurance, but any of these programs that we've talked about, it's not only from Americana Insurance customers, it's for anyone that has some needs. There could be some discounts on the Silver Bells 55 and Alive Driver Improvement Program. The Wonderful Life, you never know when you're going to need life insurance. It's something that Jolene does a great job on, that need analysis. So please give Americana a call, 377-2000. That's the number. Get signed up for these programs because, as Tom, you said, December 6th and 7th will be here before you know it. In fact, Thanksgiving next weekend already. So be prepared, folks. It's December 6th and 7th. Americana Insurance number 377-6000.
2000.
That's 2000. Excuse me. 6000. Yeah. 377-2000 is the number for Americana Insurance. I was kind of looking ahead because we do have a special guest. We've had Abby Leach on before, but we thought we'd dive into this a little bit more because this is something that very important for our listeners, and you don't have to be a customer of Americana Insurance, but this is something that folks really need to take heed to, especially as you get closer to the holidays.
Yeah, and Abby's here to talk more about the will writing workshop that we're going to be doing, the Winter Wonderland will writing workshop, and the purpose of wills and estate planning, Abby. So what is the purpose of the estate planning and will writing?
So from my standpoint, estate planning is something that every person should really take into consideration. Everyone comes in and says, well, I'm 27 years old. Why do I need an estate plan? I'd like to tell people, if you're 27, please come see me. I would love to start with you early to get things set up. But I had a client yesterday who was 97 years old coming in to get a will. So we can work with any person. What we do for the purpose of estate planning is just to plan on how you would like your assets to go when you pass away. So not the most fun topic to think about is planning for that moment to happen. But really the purpose of it is to make sure that things go smoothly, family gets along, and then also just to make sure that your wishes actually take place with the assets that you have.
It's really a touchy subject, I'm sure, Abby, as you start getting together and do this estate planning. But it's better to do it ahead of that event that we all know is going to be coming sometime in our life versus that surprise when all of a sudden there's a terrific car accident or a sudden death in the family. Then they start saying, well, did mom or dad or brother and sister, did they have a will? Is there an estate plan? And lo and behold, the state's going to get involved if there isn't some type of a plan put in place. And that's the last thing you really want to get involved in. Correct.
Yeah. Everyone probably has heard that if you don't have an estate plan made, the state has one for you. So if you don't have a plan for it, the state does get involved. The court proceedings will take place and deciding who actually gets what steps in. Ultimately, that's probably not the goal of the person that passed away.
When we talk about estate planning, and maybe some folks have already got an estate plan in place, but it's always a good time to review that as well, because if you do have an estate plan put in place, and maybe you have a sister or a brother that's been in charge of some part of that estate planning and has passed away or doesn't want to become involved anymore, just because you did it maybe when you were 27 years old, that's something that maybe every a couple of years someone should take a look at, and your law firm can take and help them with that.
Correct. Yeah, we tell our clients that usually every 5 years is a good time to review your estate planning documents, or anytime there's a major change in your family situation or a major event takes place. It's just nice to go through it. Tom does, I'm assuming, yearly reviews with his clients.
We do.
And at that point, it's a good time to correlate your insurance needs plus your estate planning needs and make it work together.
And also, too, with this Winter Wonderland will writing workshop, if that is a case where you would want to have it reviewed, so let's just say one of our clients wants to have their will reviewed, that can be part of this workshop too, because that's just as important as writing up a new one too. So,
Tom, I'm going to ask you, and Abby
Right.
can maybe touch upon it a little bit as well, but obviously Americana Insurance, they're there to sell insurance, so why does an insurance company get involved in this estate planning?
because it's a key part of the plan is the potential of the insurance products that need to be part of the plan, and not to say that all plans need insurance, but many of them do. There is a lot of times, so what we do, Mike, in our office a lot of times is we do a lot of farm succession planning. Okay, we can do farm business. Again, you don't have to have a business to do a will or to do an estate plan. It just for us, we do that a lot with the farms, which we do is we call it succession planning. Okay, so there's a lot more to it than who's going to get these assets or who's going to get these assets. It's a plan that we put together that we want to have communicated with the family. Okay, so the sooner that communication happens with the family, the less, what do I want to say, issues you could have, Abby,
Yep.
at the end.
Yep.
I always look at it this way when I talk to my clients. Your wishes are probably to have your kids still get together at Christmas. That's what we want to have happen. Okay?
Keep the family together after something happens.
Right, exactly. So through this whole process, though, I mean, we could have one son that might want to farm and 3 others that don't. Okay, well, for that one son to get 1/4 of the farm might not be equitable for him. Okay, it might not work in his, even though that sounds fair, but it might not be fair and equitable for him to be able to continue that. So we do that with succession planning, or we could put in insurance products like life insurance to buy out the other siblings. They put them on the parents, or however. There's many ways of setting this up. Plus, we also want to look at the parents' coverages, and it could be long-term care that they might need insurance, because what's the one thing that could take away the farm any quicker is long-term care needs. So that's where the insurance sometimes fits in.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're just getting started talking with Abby Leach from the Leach Law Office in regards to estate planning, and Tom Sorensen with Americana Insurance. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about some of the documents that is needed for estate planning on our Insights into Insurance program here on KATE.
You got a side that wants more space, 'cause every day starts like a race. You got a side that loves that style, but to fit in those shoes gonna take a while. Today life's got you running, tomorrow big things are coming. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
To learn more about how Nationwide can help protect your many sides, call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells.
Welcome back to our Insights into Insurance program here on KATE. Tom Sorensen along with Abby Leach from the Leach Law Office. And Abby, I'm just going to ask you, what are some of the documents as we're talking about estate planning?
So the main documents that we usually look at or prepare for people are a will, a power of attorney, and a healthcare directive. Some funny acronyms that most people will hear is a POA, and that stands for a power of attorney, or an HCD, which is a healthcare directive. Goes on those same lines as like a living will. There's some people that come in and say they have a living will and they want to know the difference between that and a healthcare directive. And ultimately, they're pretty much the same thing. So when we do those documents, we do kind of a package deal, because I feel like if you come in for one, you might as well get everything done at once. Usually when you come in once, you kind of forget about me for a couple of years, and I'd rather it be prepared and things are all done versus doing them separately.
Abby, we talked about in the first break that a lot of folks may have an estate already planned out. They may have a power of attorney all set. And things do change. Life does change. There could be a divorce in the family. There could be some deaths in the family. So when you say you want to try to put things together, that's very important, because with a will, the power of attorney, those things can change over time. You had mentioned that, the younger you come in and get that will set up and get the estate plan, as you mentioned, you just don't want to say, I've got it done and forget about it, put it in the safe. You want to review that about every 5 years. Correct.
Yep. With a will, we just want to double check. There's some key parts in the will. The biggest one is your personal representative. Who that is the person handling your estate if something happens to you. So who do you trust to do the right thing, to handle the money and the assets and distribute them correctly and by your wishes? That one seems to be the biggest one we have to change, just because people pass away or they move away. That seems to happen quite a bit also. And then we look at how your assets are distributed out. So that's the other main part that changes. Either money's spent down, houses change, you get more things in your house that you want to give to specific people, or like Tom was saying earlier, is business and farming comes into play. And at that point, especially with farming, you have farming assets and you have different land. And depending on if you have different children involved in your business or in the farming, then we got to change the will to correlate with that part of it.
You touched a point that I think a lot of people may not realize, and that is maybe when your mom and dad put the estate plan together and they put the will together that, for example, the oldest son is going to get the house. Well, now you moved out of your home and you're into a assisted living facility. That can really throw a wrench into things.
Correct, yeah. And that's where when you have big life changes, like moving or selling some of your major assets or liquidating out, that's a really good time to review your estate plan, just to see if it's actually valid. If you have the house going to your son and the house is gone, is there something in there that says, well, if the house is gone, he gets X amount of money, or things in that respect. So major changes in life are the best time to review it. I like working with insurance companies because they usually ask the question every year if you've reviewed your estate plan, which is really helpful to me because, like I said, some people come in to me to have their documents prepped, and it's not the most fun experience. I try to make it lighthearted, but they usually don't want to deal with me frequently on it.
And Abby, another thing that folks should realize, because a lot of folks like to keep it on their chest, so to speak, this is very confidential between your insurance carrier, be it Americana Insurance with Tom or yourself, the Abby Leach Law Office. Very confidential, so you should not be afraid to come in and discuss these options, because ultimately there is going to be that day that you're going to need them.
Correct. And the nice thing is with working with Tom, any of his clients, they've done a great job at just showing, they're not going to communicate with me unless they've gotten permission from them to share documents, and I'm the same way. But the nice thing is Tom usually knows his clients a lot better than I do. He's known them. Sadly, his door's probably been open maybe only a year longer than mine, maybe. Yeah. So Tom's had his business for quite a while. Most of his clients have been around for quite a while.
Let's just put it this way. I got gray hair and Abby's got this beautiful blonde hair. So
there we go. There we go. And Tom, before we wrap things up, we talked a little bit about some of the services and products, the elements in the insurance world, but let's touch upon those before we wrap up for the key elements and kind of the products in the insurance world.
Yeah, and again, a lot of times with this succession planning, and again, it's not for everyone, so just so they know that we're going to for sure sell them a product, but a lot of times it's a part of it just to create a plan that's going to work, okay? And that's life insurance, long-term care, and investments. And then also, too, a lot of times there's trust involved in this. And so I hate to say this, but normally what you're trying to do is save your assets to go on to the next generation and keep it from predators and creditors is what you're trying to set up. So you're trying to build walls around you. Okay.
All right. We're putting the pieces together. We're talking about estate planning. And Tom, as we wrap things up on this Saturday morning, we have the Santa's Winter Wonderland Will Writing Workshop with Abby Leach.
Yes, and it'll be on December 6th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but the people were wondering probably, how do I sign up for this? Well, we have sent an email out to all of our clients, or actually it's going out today. Okay. And then also, too, we are going to send out some flyers to our clients, but also, like the listeners, they can email me at insights@Americana Insurance and say, hey, I'm interested in this will writing workshop, or any of the other things that we have, the 55 Alive or the Wonderful Life Lookover. So.
Or give Americana Insurance a call at 377-2000, and it'll get you on the list because it is coming up fast, December 6th and 7th. Abby, as always, thanks for coming in and talking about estate planning. And Tom, as always, on a Saturday morning, that's another program for our Insights into Insurance.
It's kind of fun. People get to hear somebody else instead of my sick voice all the time, right, Mike?
Absolutely. We'll take Abby Leach any day of the week.
Yeah. You didn't need to agree so well.
All right. That'll wrap up this Saturday edition of our Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance here on Kate 1450.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from the Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.